Cambodia passes law to strip citizenship of people convicted of treason. Cambodian lawmakers have passed a law giving the government the power to strip citizenship from people who collude with foreign countries. The law passed on Monday empowers authorities to revoke the citizenship of anyone convicted of conspiring with foreign countries, scheming against Cambodian interests, or committing acts leading to destruction of sovereignty, territorial integrity, and national security. The legislation was approved by all but 5 lawmakers in the 125-member National Assembly, which is dominated by the long-governing Cambodian People's Party. Under the law, revocation of citizenship is to be decided by a committee established at the request of Interior Minister Sar Soka. While the legislation must still be approved by Cambodia's upper house and the king, these steps are widely considered formalities. The measure comes amid a sustained crackdown on opponents of the governing party, the political vehicle of former strongman leader Hun Sen and his son, current Prime Minister Hun Man-aye. In June, Hun Sen, who ruled Cambodia for more than 3 decades before his son took the reins in 2023, said Cambodia needed to take action against nationals who side with foreign nations. Numerous prominent political figures have fled Cambodia to avoid arrest amid the crackdown, including Sam Rainsy and Mu Sochua, the co-founders of the banned Cambodia National Rescue Party. Before the parliamentary vote on the law, a coalition of 50 rights groups on Sunday warned that the legislation would have a disastrously chilling effect on the freedom of speech of all Cambodian citizens. The potential for abuse in the implementation of this vaguely worded law to target people on the basis of their ethnicity, political opinions, speech, and activism is simply too high to accept, the group said. Musk sues Apple, OpenAI over alleged AI competition suppression. Elon Musk's artificial intelligence startup xAI has sued Apple and ChatGPT maker OpenAI, accusing them of illegally conspiring to thwart competition for artificial intelligence, AI. The lawsuit filed in a United States federal court in Texas on Monday says that Apple and OpenAI have locked up markets to maintain their monopolies and prevent innovators like X and xAI from competing. The complaint filed by the billionaire said Apple and OpenAI conspired to suppress Zay's products, including on the Apple App Store. If not for its exclusive deal with OpenAI, Apple would have no reason to refrain from more prominently featuring the X app and the Grok app in its App Store, xAI said. The lawsuit pointed out that in June 2024, Apple and OpenAI announced they would integrate ChatGPT into Apple's operating system under an exclusive arrangement. OpenAI's exclusive arrangement has made ChatGPT the only generative AI chatbot integrated into the iPhone. This means that if iPhone users want to use a generative AI chatbot for key tasks on their devices, they have no choice but to use ChatGPT, even if they would prefer to use more innovative and imaginative products like Zay's Grok, the lawsuit alleged. Apple holds 65% of the smartphone market share. The Silicon Valley tech giant and OpenAI did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Earlier this month, Musk threatened to sue Cupertino, California-based Apple, saying in a post on his social media platform X that Apple's behavior makes it impossible for any AI company besides OpenAI to reach number 1 in the App Store. Apple's partnership with OpenAI has integrated its AI platform ChatGPT into iPhones, iPads and Mac computers. This is a remarkable claim given what I have heard alleged that Elon does to manipulate X to benefit himself and his own companies and harm his competitors and people he doesn't like, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman said in a post on X on the heels of Musk's remarks earlier this month. Musk does have a long-standing history of going after companies that are a bane to his side. The billionaire sued several brands, including Lego and Nestle, that stopped advertising on X amid hostile rhetoric on the platform. Musk's xAI acquired X in March for $33 billion to enhance its chatbot training capabilities. Musk also has integrated the Grok chatbot into vehicles made by his electric automobile company, Tesla. Musk's xAI was launched less than 2 years ago and competes with Microsoft-backed OpenAI as well as with Chinese startup DeepSeek. Musk is separately suing OpenAI and its CEO Altman in federal court in California to stop its conversion from a nonprofit to a for-profit business. Musk co-founded OpenAI with Altman in 2015 as a nonprofit. Apple's App Store practices have been the focus of multiple lawsuits. In one ongoing case by Fortnite video game maker Epic Games, a judge ordered Apple to allow greater competition for app payment options. On Wall Street, Apple stock is not responding to the lawsuit, and is still up 0.6% for the day. OpenAI, however, is not publicly traded, nor is xAI. However, Musk's other venture, Tesla, is up 1.2% as of 12 p.m. in New York, 1600 Greenwich Mean Time. Thailand-Cambodia ceasefire. A new path to peace or prolonged conflict? The long-simmering border dispute between Thailand and Cambodia erupted into armed clashes in July, jolting the region and forcing thousands to flee their homes. Though both governments announced a ceasefire, the fragility of the agreement and the deep-rooted tensions fueling the conflict suggest this might be more of a pause than a true path to peace. A conflict with colonial roots. This conflict is not the first time gunfire has echoed along the Thai-Cambodian border, and it likely won't be the last. The origins of the dispute trace back over a century to the colonial cartography of French Indochina. When Cambodia gained independence from France in 1953, ambiguities in the 1907 Franco-Siamese border treaties left several stretches of the frontier undefined. Among the most contentious sites is the area surrounding the Preah Vihear temple complex, an ancient Angkorian site perched on a cliffside that both nations claim as their own. Despite the International Court of Justice ruling in 1962, and a reaffirmation in 2013, that the temple and adjacent territory belong to Cambodia, Thailand has consistently resisted implementing the verdict in full. For both countries, the site is more than just land, it represents national pride, cultural heritage and sovereignty. A political powder keg, the timing of this latest escalation on July 24 seems far from coincidental. Thailand, currently grappling with internal political instability, recently saw its fourth change in leadership since the 2023 elections. The acting prime minister, Phumtham Wechayachai, has been under intense pressure to assert control after a leaked conversation between former Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra and Cambodia's de facto power broker, Hun Sen, painted Thai leadership in an unflattering light. For many observers, stoking nationalism through a border conflict appeared to be a calculated move to shift public focus away from domestic disarray. Cambodia's motivations, while similar, are anchored in internal consolidation. Prime Minister Hun Manet, the son of longtime leader Hun Sen, continues to establish his authority. A national rallying cause, such as a foreign threat, can serve as a unifying force, especially as Cambodia faces economic headwinds and widespread dissatisfaction. The clashes began with a gunfight near the Ta Mon Tam temple complex, situated close to Thailand's Surin province and Cambodia's Otter Meanchey. The situation quickly spiraled. Cambodia launched BM-21 Grad rocket systems, some targeting civilian infrastructure. Thailand retaliated with F-16 airstrikes. By the time a ceasefire was declared, at least 34 people, including civilians, had been killed, and over 270,000 displaced. The Thai government closed all border crossings and began evacuating civilians within a 50-kilometer radius. Both sides deployed additional troops, and fears of a wider war mounted. Yet, neither country formally declared war, a telling sign that despite the fierce rhetoric and bloodshed, both governments are wary of crossing a line from which there would be no easy return. On July 28, under the auspices of Malaysia, the two countries agreed to an immediate and unconditional ceasefire. Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, acting as mediator and in his role as the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, chair, hailed the agreement as a vital first step towards restoring stability. But hours after the ceasefire took effect, confusion set in. The Thai military accused Cambodia of violating the truce with fresh attacks. Cambodian officials, in turn, denied any new hostilities, stating that calm had returned to all fronts. Both sides cited contradictory timelines for follow-up military meetings, further reflecting the lack of mutual trust. While some displaced families have started returning home, uncertainty lingers. The ceasefire may be holding in spirit more than in practice. A fierce war of words keeps Thailand and Cambodia on edge. The guns along the forested Thai-Cambodian border have been silent for 3 weeks now. But a fierce war of words is still being waged by both countries, as they seek to win international sympathy and shore up public support at home. And a commonly held view in Thailand is that they are losing. The perception is that Cambodia has appeared more agile, more assertive and more media-savvy, said Claire Pachamanan, speaking on the Thai Public Broadcasting Service podcast Media Pulse. Thailand has always been one step behind. The century-old border dispute dramatically escalated with a Cambodian rocket barrage into Thailand on the morning of the 24th of July, followed by Thai airstrikes. Since then, an army of Cambodian social media warriors, backed by state-controlled English-language media channels, have unleashed a flood of allegations and inflammatory reports, many of which turned out to be false.